I posted a video that went viral last week that mentioned teaching the code, and I got a lot of comments like this. And I'd like to address this if I may. When it comes to teaching reading or early literacy, there's a reason science of reading folks talk about phonics so much. Phonics teaches kids the relationship between letters and sounds. Essentially, there's a basic code to English, and regardless of whether it's 100% reliable or not, it's not. It's an essential foundation. Underemphasizing the importance of teaching the code is a huge mistake. But a more common mistake I see is people giving phonics an equal status next to sight words in those primary years. It's so not equal. When we muddy the waters with this dual approach of phonics and sight words, kids are much less likely to make solid connections between sounds and letters. And the reason for this is you're basically communicating to them from the start that English is kind of a crapshoot. There's nothing I can really rely on, so I'm just as likely to get it right if I guess, which takes way less effort. Or just try to memorize as many words as I can, which is inefficient as heck and leads to really poor reading skills. When taught this way, kids are much more likely to try one of those two avenues before ever systematically sounding out a word. And look, I'm not saying kids don't need to learn those high-frequency words early on. They do. But the thing is, most can actually be taught using phonics patterns, and even those that have completely non-phonetic spellings can and should still be mapped with sounds. The. This word has two sounds. The TH says th as we'd expect, but the E says Not THE says the. Remember that. THE says the. This word is the. Do you see the difference? In the first example, I broke the word down into more manageable pieces. My brain has less to carry because I already know the relationship between TH and th. Then all I have to do is remember a new sound to letter relationship within the context of this word. E says Essentially, I've filed the letters according to their sounds in those two sound folders. Whereas being asked to just visually memorize the whole word form THE, that's a much larger load on my memory. I can't consolidate that into other folders. That has to live as a separate file, taking up much more space and much harder to find amongst a million other files just like it. So to end my soapbox, yes, English spelling isn't 100% phonetic. It's probably not even 80% phonetic. But even if it's only 70% phonetic, that's a heck of a majority. That's still a code you can rely on for a lot of basic reading. Then we layer in word structure, meaning, grammar knowledge. Notice I never said visual memorization. These are skills that also greatly help us read and spell words accurately. And we do have to explicitly teach them as they are equally important. But they are not equally important at the start. Phonics must take a huge portion of that pie at the start. Need help with that start? Check out our Pinwheels program.